Okay, what we're going to do is a quick, this is most wrong product of the industrial age. We've got a Rayco model 936XL, the commercial electric model CMB 150-0B and CMB 218-OB, and the Westinghouse model 01100. Okay, the model's there. Everything's been approved by UL, testing for opening. Okay, one of the reasons I want to say it's most wrong in residential history is because of duration, the length of time it's been in the stores. If you can see this application was submitted in 1989 and patents were issued throughout the 90s. So I don't know when UL listed it or when it started selling, but I'm going to estimate that this product has been on the market for around 30 years. Okay, the design of this product here is to put this bar in a 4-inch hole, stick it up inside the hole, through a 4-inch hole, put this in here, twist this here. You got to get this perfectly center. Now you have seen it, you got it view, but from here you're just looking at a 4-inch hole. Twist this down. After, you got to put this clip up around here. You have to have a wire ready and put this on here. You have to get the wire inside a hole with a knockout, with a Romex connector, one that they give you. You got to put this all together and put this in here. And then you got to somehow or another get these bolts in here. And then get that thing, it's easy with me, I'm got the top and the bottom. And now this here, you just gotta be perfect. And then you gotta hold, this has gotta be held, and you gotta get nuts on these here. You gotta get the nuts on this here to hold this box here. And here and here. They say it's fast, easy. I haven't been able to complete it with a 4-inch hole, and I've been 49 years doing electrical work. I don't know who wrote that, but it's a lie, because this is not fast or easy. In fact, it's so difficult. Most electricians just walk by it. That's the only reason it's been around. It's been around for right around 25, 30 years, and because most electricians just walk by it, it's not something that we want to tackle. We'll tackle it, it's just that most customers won't want to pay the $1,000, $1,500 just to get the stupid thing in there. This is very difficult. It's not easy. It's not fast. It's not even compliant, because according to the articles in the National Electrical Code, this bar should be secured with 1-inch screws on either end. And at the end of it, but they're all the same. This one here is a Westinghouse. This is a commercial electric, and this is a Rayco. So Rayco would be like this. Those feet, these are called feet. They're supposed to be embedded into the wood. It's just that this one here on the Rayco, put it up there, and you have to get this perfect in order to meet it. It's so difficult. You have to get, and then if it's even turned a little bit, the Rayco dimples here, their feet, it's only 3/16 of an inch high. Well, according to NAC code, that shouldn't be good enough. That's not even close, because we need at least 1 inch, 1.25 wood screws holding this into the wood. And I don't know that this is good enough. If I was a spec, I wouldn't like it. Okay. Okay, I got a call from a person in Long Beach who wanted me to do, I got a full display later on, but they wanted to add a line and a light, and it was already there. This box fits only 16 inches on center and bigger. So whoever started this project, I looked up in the attic, and it was sitting across the drywall like that. You have 1/2-inch drywall holding this, because it wouldn't fit. The joisting was less than 16 on center. I got this at 14. It was probably 14, maybe. because it was less than 16 on center, this was just sitting on the drywall. Now, you got a heavy fan, motorized fan, with a 120 volt line coming in it, and it's sitting on the drywall. If anybody was up there, or if there was a roof leak, this drywall got wet, this thing would have fell right on them. It would have fell out eventually anyway. I just happened, because it was a pull chain light that was up there. The customer wasn't using it anymore because he didn't like pulling the chain, so I was there to add the wire in there to make it a switch, put a switch in the wall. So being that this didn't have a roof leak, if it had a roof leak, it would have fell right through. And being that he didn't want to use it, by pulling the chain, it would eventually pull the whole damn thing off the ceiling. It's a 120 volt installation, and he did not know it because it was in the house before he bought the house. It was already installed. He just hired me to run a wire for a switch. So naturally, I fixed it all up. I got rid of this thing, threw it away, and did something else. There's two other installations I've seen, and they were both in my house, and they're coming up now. It was one that was, because this here goes like, goes up in the ceiling. When you put it up in the ceiling, the guy, whoever did it before I got there, couldn't make it straight, so it was crooked. And the other one was just a bunch of 1/2-inch steel flex lines going in it. I don't know how he got the box in there to put the flex lines in, but you'll see it. The wires are just hanging there. You can't have any wire running on without a proper connector, because what happens, especially with a motorized fan, it'll eventually wear through and it'll dead short and cross the line out. And it'll cause a big problem. Everything over here needs a proper connector. And these packages, they give you one. But if you ever get involved in an existing situation where there's extra, there'll be at least 3 maybe. And one connector won't cut it. So most of the time you're going to see this kind of illegal activity in your house. You have to check it yourself. But the illegal activity, if it does go in, and if they do have 1 inch or 1.5 inch screws securing the bars on either end to the joist, and you might have this, and this is not approved. You cannot have lines going through a metal box, metal holes right there, because they'll eventually short out. It needs to have a connector, proper connector on every wire, whether it's flex, Romex, or whatever. This was in my home. It had existing 1/2 inch steel flex, and as you can see, this is some. He never made the flex lines go back into the box, because I can't even understand how we got that far. You guys who work with 1/2 inch steel flex, you know how difficult it is. And this was in my house. I just removed this whole thing and I put in my own box and put my own easy brace in and hung a new fan. I just wasn't going to have it. But Westinghouse refers to it as exceeds National Electrical Code requirements under 422.18. And this here is a support of ceiling suspended paddle fans. Ceiling supported paddle fans shall be supported independently of an outlet or by a listed outlet box. Okay, but they said exceeds, and that doesn't make any sense. But the support of ceiling suspended fans shall be supported independently of the outlet box is us. See, we're the only ones that make a support outside of the outlet box. It shows little pictures of how they go in on existing situations. We even make you can look up our website, fixturesupports.net.com, or Robert's got some YouTube videos, but it shows all the directions and how they work. I didn't get into it enough with the easy spacers, but the easy spacers are like this. What we do is we made this in case if you got a fixture and it's got to be, in order to get these screws in the canopy, you got to have this thing level, or at least finish with. So we made these little spacers to level out the bracket, and that way there. And if you got the wrong size, you want to change. Once you get the screws in, you can change the size by just using different easy spacers, and that'll make sure that these brackets for your ceiling fan will be exposed enough that you can get these screws in the canopy. So that's what the easy spacers are. But the rest of the stuff is shown really well. the 101, the 200, 216, 224, and all the different situations that might arise when you have an existing box. These should cover everything. And this is the support outside of an outlet box that they call for on Article 422.18.
Independent.
Independent. Okay. Okay, this is the, right here, if you, I'm going to put this up again. This is the YouTube. This shows a lot more information on what we have here, but it's like 36 minutes, so you're going to have to watch the whole thing or part of it, but it's got a lot more description. These here, I'm going to say these are the most wrong product of the industrial age. Like it says, these are the model numbers, these are the things. And because to make this right, you would need to put this label on everything. And it says, warning, this product needs to be installed by a qualified person that's a licensed electrician and approved by the authority having jurisdiction, which is an electrical inspector. Do not attempt to install this product without proper electrical training. This is 120 volt AC voltage. Contact your building insurance provider, your inspector, a licensed electrician, whatever. There's too many things on YouTube stating how to do electrical work. Electricity is dangerous. I've been doing it for 49 years. I've got hit by electricity, and I am doing it all the time. Do not attempt, the only thing on all these boxes is you look at the instructions, it says, warning, turn off power. Then it gives you all the instructions to do this, but it never says to turn the power back on, and that's the only thing I agree with. If you turn off the power and you do all this, do not turn the power back on, because whatever you've done, I guarantee if you follow these electricians, these instructions, I know that what you have done will not meet the NEC requirements. And that means you have a 120 volt outlet in the ceiling, supporting a motorized ceiling fan over somebody's head. Call an electrician for anything electrical, especially for something to do with the support in the ceiling. Do not remove the existing box in the ceiling, and do not attempt to put this thing in. It is way too difficult. We went nuts trying to put this thing in there. And we are electricians. Don't use this. Anyways, the product shall be securely fastened to the structure with a minimum 1 inch by 10 wood screws into the wood at either end of that bar. Okay, and all these outlets with the wire should be connected in. If there's more than one wire, 2 wires, 3, they all should be firmly in with a proper connector. If it is a flex, it should be a flex connect. If it's a Romex, it should be a Romex connector. Every hole, the wire shall not go into a metal box without protection, and that means the secured of a connector. And then you should have an inspection when it's open wall. So what you have to do is to install something like this, call an electrician, and if you're going to do it yourself, I'd recommend at least 50 to 90 hours of practice first. And then cut the whole ceiling out. Put this thing in according to the 1 inch screws and everything, have it inspected, and then finish the ceiling up and paint it, whatever, hang the fan out, and then have it inspected on the final after fixtures in. That's the way it should be done.